The creation of the State of Israel has been at the heart of the Middle Eastern conflict for the past half century. It was created as the culmination of the Zionist movement, whose aim was a homeland for the Jews scattered all over the world. Palestinians in Gaza, including those in East Jerusalem and West Bank, have lived under Israeli occupation since 1967. The settlements that Israel has built in the West Bank are deemed to be illegal under international law, although Israel disputes this. In 2005, Israel withdrew its forces from Gaza, ending almost 4 decades of military occupation. According to the terms of the disengagement plan, Israel retained exclusive control over Gaza's airspace and continued to monitor and guard Gaza's coastline.
خروجنا من غزة ونقل السيادة الفلسطينيين يحتم عليهم فرض النظام والقانون ومنع الإرهاب. هذا هو الامتحان الحقيقي الذي يقفون أمامه. لن نتهاون ولن نغض الطرف عن فشلهم وعن أعمال الإرهاب.
However, the Gaza-Israel conflict escalated following Hamas' victory in the 2006 elections. After this Islamic group seized control and won the Palestinian elections, Israel intensified its economic blockade, sealing its border and largely preventing the free flow of people, as well as many imports and exports, which took a toll on the already poor life standard of the civilians. In support of Israel's response, Europe and the United States disapproved of the newly formed Palestinian government and suspended their further aid to the people of Gaza. Both the United States and European Union identify Hamas as a terrorist organization, which was confirmed by the United States
Well, I
President
made it very
Bush's
clear
statement.
that the United States does not support political parties that want to destroy our ally Israel, and that people must renounce that part of their platform.
On the other hand, Middle Eastern countries strongly disapproved of Israel's regime.
إن اعتداءاتها مرفوضة ومدانة ولا بد أن تتوقف على الفور.
Different countries from Egypt to Iran and Afghanistan all condemned Israel's siege of Gaza.
اقداماتی که علیه ملت فلسطین و علیه مردم غزه انجام میدن جزء جنایات جنگی محسوب میشه.
افغانستان حملات وحشیانه اسرائیل بالای مردم ملکی و بی‌دفاع فلسطینی.
Unfortunately, aside from the numerous protests and supportive speeches, not much was actually done to help improve the situation of the people in Gaza. Meanwhile, Gaza Strip suffers from skyrocketing unemployment and poverty, with about 70% of Gaza's workforce being unemployed or without pay, and about 80% of its residents living in poverty. Israel ordered all border crossings into Gaza to be closed and threatened to further cut fuel and electricity supplies in order to pressure Hamas, which only resulted in the worsening of civilians' position.
زلنا تقريبا ساعة ونص الخبز يعني ما مقطوع من البلد يعني وانت عارف الأطفال يعني بالنسبة لنا بنصبر بس الأطفال هم اللي مش قادرين ما بيقدروش يصبروا.
In attempts to force Israel to withdraw or end the blockade, Hamas militias has been shooting Qassam rockets in Israeli settlements located near the Gaza borders, killing several civilians, including children.
Now we received 20 patients. Two of them have been already admitted to the surgical department because of many shrapnels.
As a way to coerce Hamas into stopping the rocket attacks, Israel decided to cut off the electricity to Gaza, which was described by international agencies, including the United Nations, as a collective punishment which is illegal under international law.
While we fully understand Israel's security concerns, the steps announced would, if implemented, violate Israel's obligations towards the civilian population under international humanitarian and human rights law.
On the other hand, the response of Israeli civilians was quite different.
2 days without electricity? It's not so bad. It's a very passive way of saying to Gaza, to the Hamas, this has to stop.
למה הם מסתכלים, כל האומות מסתכלים על זה שהפסיקו להם חשמל? חבל שלא הפסיקו להם את החשמל מזמן. היו נותנים להם קצת לנענע קצת.
According to the International Institute for Counterterrorism, The Palestinian death toll has reached over 4,600 people since the year 2000. More than 1,000 have been killed and about 5,000 injured in the 2008-2009 Israeli offensive against Gaza alone. As a response to the civilian casualties and this clear breach of international law, Israeli ambassador to the United Nations puts the blame entirely on Hamas. Civilian casualties on both sides are a clear contradiction to the international law and a violation of basic human rights. On humanitarian grounds alone, reaching a ceasefire and lifting the collective punishment imposed on Gaza's population would be the right thing to achieve. The cost of this age-long conflict will be measured in enormous loss of life, a generation of embittered and radicalized Gazans, and another bankrupt peace process.